All right, high rollers, we are just a few days away from the biggest event on the darting calendar. Are you looking for that perfect Christmas gift for the darts fan in your family? I'll give you the best suggestion ever. First, you buy them a subscription to PDC.TV, and then you just give them space and time over the holidays so they can enjoy the World Championships. Perfect! December 13th to January 1st, it all starts Thursday, baby. Yes, that's all we ask for, peace and quiet, so we can watch the darts. Our guest today is one of darts' big guns, a director at Matchroom Sport. He is chief executive with the PDC. Matthew Porter joins us. Matthew, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for being our high roller today.
What a build-up. I don't think we need to say anything else, do we? It's all about getting everybody in front of the TV to watch Ali Pali. You're right.
Absolutely. I nailed it, right? That's the wish list. Just get us a subscription and then give us time. And I've got to say, I've really enjoyed my subscription to PDC.TV. I'm here in Canada. It really gives me access, instant access to some of the greatest events in the world. And I've really got my money's worth, man.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. You know, we try to push as much content through it as we can, and we appreciate that people in different time zones and different parts of the world don't always get the opportunity to watch the darts through mainstream TV. So the more opportunity we can give them to watch our events, the better.
Yeah, and the floor events I find especially fascinating because you don't really see that. They're playing in quiet, but that's where it all happens, right on the floor.
Yeah, it's the bread and butter, isn't it? It's where the professionals earn out a crust and make a living. You know, it's a totally different environment. No spectators, you know, and it's quite a quiet arena. So, you know, they play a lot of matches in the day and 128 down to a winner. So it's completely different to what people see, all the glitz and glamour of the TV product. But it's essential to the pros because it keeps their arm in, keeps their match focus, and of course keeps the bank balance topped up.
Yeah, it really gives them a chance to have a career at this game, especially the guys at the lower limits. They got a chance to pull in, week out, a paycheck.
Yeah, because, look, everybody sees Van Gerwen, Anderson, Wright, Cross, all the top guys picking up, you know, TV trophies and things like that. But what they don't appreciate necessarily is that there are 128 tour card holders, 128 professionals, and not everybody can play in the World Championship final. So there has to be some active competition, regular matches, and you know, as you touched upon, regular prize funds in order for them to sustain their living.
Well, I've been really enjoying the build-up to the World Championship. We're just days away. The game's top gun set to converge on the Ali Pali, the biggest World Championship ever, 96 players, a staggering prize pool, £2.5 million, $500K to the winner. This is the big one, right? This is the one everyone shoots for.
Of course, yeah. You know, look, every sport has its pinnacle event. Every sport has its flagship blue ribbon events, and ours is the World Darts Championship. It's become synonymous with Christmas. It's an iconic venue in London. You know, we call it London's biggest Christmas party with 85,000 fans coming over the 28 sessions. And it's obviously the one that the players all want to win. So, you know, the eyes of the sporting world will turn to darts for the next fortnight.
What are people that have tickets in for that maybe I, in Canada, am not watching it on PDC.TV in terms of atmosphere, the fancy dress, all the excitement? I mean, it really is incredible what I see. I can only imagine what they're taking in.
Yeah, you know, those guys are the atmosphere. You know, they're not coming to watch the atmosphere. They're coming to be the atmosphere. They come in fancy dress. They come with groups, office parties, friends, family. You know, young and old, male and female. Everybody's there, and they come to enjoy themselves. You know, it's one of the only few sporting events where people buy their tickets without knowing who they're going to watch. Tickets went on sale in the summer and mostly were sold out by the time the schedule was released in early December. So people come for the occasion, not necessarily just to see their favourite player, and that's a great thing for darts.
You mentioned 85,000 fans from across the world. I mean, the PDC's really taken off. You guys got a good product right now.
We do. We've got a good product because the players are exciting and they're highly skilled. And it's at a time when, you know, people are looking for entertainment and entertainment at good value as well. Over here, you know, Premiership football is could be up to £100 a ticket. You know, cricket, golf, these are all expensive sports, tennis. But darts is a sport that anybody can participate in or watch at a very affordable level.
What do you make of parity in the game of darts right now? 10 different winners this year. Is it the increased prize pools? That's what I think it is, the driving force. I mean, it's there if you want to shoot for it. And, you look at what's happening in the previous two majors, especially the momentum you've got going into this World Championship, the Grand Slam, the Players' Championship, all the drama. I mean, it only bodes well for some mayhem in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it does. Look, the increased prize funds are obviously a key driver, as is the increased exposure and the opportunity to become a real sporting superstar. Everybody needs an incentive, and it might be a dirty word to some people, but money is a major driver. And while there is more money at stake, obviously the strength and depth of the sport is growing. We've got kids coming through the development tour, through academies, up through the challenge tour, and onto the pro tour, and they're all driven by the desire to be a star. And as you say, 10 different players winning TV tournaments this year, which is fantastic.
Now, the draw, any interesting pairings that stand out for you? I see that it could be MVG, Gary Anderson in the semifinal. That would be absolutely epic. What do you make of the 96-player field and some of these interesting matchups?
Well, there's a lot of players in there that we don't know a huge amount about because they've come from all four corners of the world. And that's good because darts is a global sport and people should be represented. All countries should be represented. So, we've got a lot of the way the draw's done. Obviously, the seeded players are not participating until the second round. So there'll be a lot of matches in the first round where people have got an opportunity to make a name for themselves. Hit 100 average, maybe even a 9-darter, or just wow the crowd with your walk on. Whatever it takes. If a player can make themselves into a star by the time they take on that seed in the second round. Obviously, you mentioned Bergh and Anderson, potential semi-final, but they've both got a huge amount of hurdles to jump to get to that stage, and they won't be taking any matches lightly.
I got to tell you, I really like what the PDC's done on social media, Twitter especially. That's where I am most. You've been running contests, you've been posting World Championship flashbacks, darting tidbits, giveaways even. I mean, this is the main event, and I feel that you guys have done a great job in creating a festival feeling, like a Christmas festival, right? This is Dartsmas.
Yeah, we try to get the atmosphere and the mood around the events across on social media. The lads in the office do a really good job portraying that character and making people feel closer to the darts and building up their anticipation levels ahead of the event starting.
Now, how would you rate Rob Cross's year as champion? Not necessarily at the Hockey, but away from it. Is he a good ambassador for the sport? I feel he is.
Yes, I agree with you. Rob's a lovely guy. Everybody who meets him immediately likes him. He conducts himself very, very well. He's maybe not had the success on the hockey that he would have wanted to have done, but his rags to riches story was a real fairy tale. And, he's been a worthy world champion. It's a tough ask for him to defend it, but it's a tough ask for anyone to defend their world championship. And if he's not able to do so, then nobody will think any of the less of him.
A couple of ladies in the event this year. I don't expect women in the final, but hey, you never know. They're in it to win it. They've got a chance. I love the fact it could happen.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere. We recognise the direction of travel of women's sport, and whilst the PDC's always been open to men and women, sometimes you need to give a bit of a leg up to, certain countries, or in this case the lady players, and so we decided to make specific qualifying spots with the expansion of the field. So there's a UK representative, a lady called Lisa Ashton, BDO Women's World Champion, and then Anastasia Dobromoslova from Russia, who lives in the UK, but she's representing the women from the rest of the world. And she has obviously played in our World Championship before, so she'll know what to expect on the big stage. I think they're both going to put up an excellent account of themselves, and I don't think any of the men players will want to play them at all.
I'll tell you what, I have a gut feeling one of them is going to advance. I feel the crowd's going to get behind them, get against their opponent, and it's going to make for some interesting times. Okay, couple of quick questions left. Broadcasting partners, Sky Sports, obviously. I see BBC America's carrying it. That's good news for us folks in North America. What kind of logistics are we talking about? It's a worldwide game now, so the broadcast schedule must just be immense.
Yeah, I think we've got 115, something like that, days of live TV in 2019. Sky Sports are the host broadcaster for this event, but ITV and BBC are also host broadcasters for UK-based events. When we go on our World Series, we have different host broadcasters in different territories. So we've got a huge amount of support from our global partners, and they recognise the value that darts brings to them and the audience that it drives. I think really it's our best advert. It's the way that people first often get initiated into the world of PDC darts. They may have played it, but on an amateur level. But for them to see professional darts on TV is really what first excites them and gets them wanting to experience it more.
You recently tweeted out congrats to Dimitri Bergh, the most successful player in the history of the PDC Development Tour. He defended his World Youth Championship. You said so much talent coming through the ranks.
Yeah, I mean, Dimitri's a perfect example of that. He's been, on the pro circuit for a while now, and there were some comments about the 23-year-olds, or even Dimitri's actually 24, not being youth. But I'd completely disagree with that in the darts world, because you have some sports, maybe like football or soccer, as you would perhaps call it, and in that game, if you're not professional or in the first team at the age of 19, 20, then maybe you've missed your chance. But darts isn't like that. A darts career can go on well into the 50s and sometimes 60s for a player. So there's no reason why somebody who's not quite ready at 21, 22 shouldn't be given the opportunity to hone their skills further in a competitive environment. Hence why the development tour goes up to players who are up to 23 years old on the 1st of January of the relevant year. And Dimitri's taken full advantage of that system, and his initiation into senior darts has been massively helped by the progress he's been able to make on the development tour. And then there's plenty of other players as well. Martin Schindler, who he beat in the final, Luke Humphries, any number of players who will go on to be top professionals who have done so by learning their trade on the development tour.
Yeah, that really was quite a final. Gives them some valuable experience on stage in high, intense moments. Dimitri averaged 100. Martin averaged 91. It was high quality. Okay, last question. The World Championships are here. We're going to enjoy that. But then afterwards, there's no rest for the weary, right? It's PDC qualifying school, and Q School's no gimme, right? I mean, it's so tough there, isn't it?
It's the absolute opposite of a gimme. There'll be 400 or 500 players playing for a limited number of tour cards, and it's your route into the professional game if you're an amateur and you fancy your chances. But you've got to have the bottle, because it's only 4 days, and you can either win your card on the day, or you can win enough points over the 4 days to get in from the top-up list. But either way, you've got to perform. So everything you've been building up to in your local leagues and competitions, Challenge Tour, whatever you've been playing over the past 12 months, if you don't go to Q School and perform, then you're back to square one.
Well, we wish you all the best over the next couple of weeks. Enjoy it. Matthew Porter, PDC Chief Executive, at @MattPorter_PDC on Twitter. Thanks so much for your time, man. Really appreciate it.
Great to speak to you. Enjoy the World Championship.